Good morning from Pompey. Trying to grab the sunspots before rain and thunderstorms begin. Bortle is barreling in, but we have some nice sunspots that I don't want to miss out on. Right now the big one is 3738 in the middle. With 3742 and 3743 moving in from the east. Science tells us that when the sunspots get aligned in an almost straight line, which is what's happening now, then it means the sun is about to flip polarity with the North Pole and South Pole switching. And that repeats every 11 years, every cycle. But for now, I think 3744 is still a little bit too far out. We're not in a perfect straight line yet, but we're on the way there. And 38 is certainly a beautiful one, worth watching. Let me see if we can zoom in on it. Okay, here's the plan. Hi Alec, hi Lauren. I'm going to try to zoom in on the clouds. Okay. Good for you. Yeah, M31 is well suited for the dwarf. Alec, I lived in Manchester for 3 years. I know exactly what you mean about seeing the sun. And here you go. She's gone. The clouds are moving fast, so we should be able to see it again. I will share with you guys a small secret. There is a package from DWARF lab that's going to be delivered today. Keeping my fingers crossed. Okay, sun is back. I like this nice feature of DWARF, the ability to zoom in with 2 fingers. You can see how fast the clouds are moving. It's very, very windy outside, so I'm going to pull up the radar quickly to see how much of a break we have. The worst of the worst is just north of us, with some to our west. And we're talking about flood watch, tornado warnings, extreme heat. All is well. Lauren, I think you were with us 2 nights ago when we were going after the International Space Station, ended up with 4 out of 4. So now we know where to find the exact coordinates and time The next question I'm trying to answer is the magnitude of the International Space Station. How bright is bright, or where do I know how bright it is? I'm waiting for Dwarf 3. Don't know if today's delivery will be Dwarf 3 or not. Fingers crossed we'll have an unboxing very, very soon. Dwarf 3 offers three things to me. Larger aperture, which means 50% more light coming in. The dual band filter will finally allow us to capture nebula. Right now Dwarf 2 is no good when it comes to Trifid, when it comes to any of the nebula that I tried capturing with Dwarf 2, it was not good. And the third one is what I call wide angle astro. We will be able to stack the wide angle camera and get the Milky Way. It looks like we escaped the worst of Beryl by not much. The folks in Ottawa are being hammered right now. When I go up to Oswego, not today, they're being hammered by the hurricane remnants, but when I go up to Oswego, I can see things with that 16-inch telescope that I cannot see with my 11-inch. I mean, even going from 11 to 16 is doubling the surface of the mirror. That's twice as much light being sucked in. How are the Badlands today and the Black Hills? Hot. Yeah, I can imagine. I can only imagine. I just came back from stopping at what I refer to as the future home of the Pompey Observatory and did another bandwidth test. 5G is very, very nice. It has been flaky. One time it gave me 700 megabits per second. But I've been getting just above 100 megabits per second on a regular basis with uploads of around 20 megabits per second, which is all I need to go live. I only need about 7 megabits per second to stream live, so we're good. I'm gonna go peek at the sky from the west to see if those clouds are gonna break. Clouds moving fast for sure. We're gonna have on and off. Gonna see if it'll let me capture a short video. I requested from DWARF Lab a microphone in DWARF 3 or DWARF 4 or DWARF 5. And that will allow us to capture sounds. Lauren, this was my, call it disappointment. I would have expected the field of view of dwarf 3 to be just a touch narrower than dwarf 2. It is not. They say it's going to be the same, and objects will be smaller than they appear in the rear view mirror. And another thing that I requested, and there is no interest in implementing, is the ability to turn off storing raw frames. Right now I keep finding myself having to plug the dwarf into a computer to go in and delete the memory, because I don't want to mess with removing the SD card. I don't know why they seem to be comfortable with the current field of view. At 3 degrees, it definitely allows us to capture the North American nebula, the California nebula, a lot of Orion's neighborhood, and certainly Andromeda and Triangulum, that no other smart telescope can capture now without a mosaic of some kind. The wind is jerking the dwarf around. You can see it shaking. Lauren, what is VS 150? Talking about temperature or field of view? Yeah. I'd very much like to see if with the big however, they are using a larger sensor, much larger, which leaves us with the same field of view. Yeah. The number of pixels per arc second ends up being the same on dwarf 3 and dwarf 2, so we're not gaining much other than resolution, if that matters. Yes, and the Seestar folks indicated that they are working on a large aperture Seestar, and I'd like to see where that goes. So it takes the sunspots about 25 days to go around the sun, a full circle around the sun, which means it takes about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, for them to travel from end to end when they are visible. The east side of the sun is to the left and the west side is to the right. So right now the clouds are moving from the sun's west to the sun's east. Very fast. And you can see from the shaking of DWARF that wind is indeed playing a factor. I'm keeping an eye on the radar because I do not want the DWARF to get a drenching from Beryl. We may have escaped the worst of Beryl. It came within 20 miles from us. Right now, Eastern Lake Ontario all the way up through Kingston and Ottawa are being hammered with some serious high winds and thunderstorms. We're only picking up some of the wind here and clouds. It's interesting looking at the sky. The cirrus clouds are not moving and the cumulus clouds are flying under them as fast as possible. Keep Lauren, if you give me, let me see, Let me get your voice chat. There you go. Can you hear me now? Yes, I can. Now the only question is, do you want your voice to go on the YouTube channel also, or just direct? Let me get you on the YouTube channel. Stand by. Okay, you should hear yourself 20 seconds later. Do you want to speak up and test it? Lauren, are you still there?
Yeah, testing 1, 2, 3.
Your voice should be going out onto with the stream.
Yeah, I'm still there.
I'm here. I can hear your voice without any problem.
This is kind of strange. Anyway, I have to go. Unfortunately, I have an appointment. Okay, I have an appointment. I have to go.
Yeah, the clouds are still moving very fast. Okay, looks like we lost Lauren.